So about 2 days ago, this TikTok popped up on my For You page.
Number one DM outreach script that I see all of my students crushing it with has these two things in it. Number one, it's personal. Number two, it's quick.
And since he's a copywriter, I'm a copywriter, I decided I was gonna try it. He says at the end of the video, if you DM about 200 people, you're bound to get one client. So I'm gonna DM 200 people and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna use the exact script he used in that video. I'll use the follow-ups he included in that video. I'm just gonna test this TikTok out and see if it works as an outreach method and record it all here. But really, there's not much to talk about. I'll go through my process later in the video about how I found people. But really, I'm just gonna be going through Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, and DMing them and see what happens. So I'll see you guys at the end of the first 50 emails. Okay, the one thing that he doesn't say in this video that I actually didn't know because I've never done outreach before on Instagram, but you can only send about 20 cold DMs at a time if you've never done it before. Obviously, I haven't. I have a pretty small Instagram account, so I can only send 20 DMs at a time. I already have 2 responses though on people asking, you know, if I'm interested or all that type of stuff. So hopefully we can try to convert one of those to a new client. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go about 20 at a time instead of pumping out the full 200 today. So I'm gonna take a break, eat some food, do a little bit of some client work, and then come back and try to do some more DMs. Okay, so I am now about 50 DMs in, and I've discovered there are really 2 ways to find these people on Instagram that are free. The first way is you simply go to your Explore page, your recommended feed, and you just scroll until you see an ad. Once you see an ad, you click the company, find their business owner's name, you can Google this, and then you DM the business owner. That way it takes a long time. So what I've been doing is I've been finding influencers that I already know, who I know own a business, and clicking their recommended following accounts. When you follow them, see who pops up. That'll be similar business owners, similar creators, similar entrepreneurs, and you're gonna DM them and it'll have the list already made for you across Instagram that you can just continue to scroll and DM. So those are the 2 methods that I've been using. The second one's a lot faster. And the third one would be to just pay for these leads, pay for Instagram leads. There's a bunch of people who do it on Fiverr and Upwork that you can pay like $5 for a list of 200 leads. But I'm not gonna be doing that today. I'm gonna be doing it the free way so you guys can copy exactly what I'm doing if you don't wanna spend any money. With 50 DMs in, we are getting a really good response rate, which is surprising. And so I'm definitely working on my sales tactic here. I've never done it through Instagram before, and we're gonna continue the process now. So I'll see you guys at 100 DMs. All right, guys, so we are about 100 DMs into this process, and the response rate is actually looking really surprising. I've gotten a really good amount of engagement. I've had a couple already go full conversations that I just have not been able to sell on a meeting, which is completely my fault. I've never done this method of outreach before, so I'm still kind of learning as I go. But there's already a lot of interest, and I have booked one person who's interested in the meeting, and I will be meeting with them tomorrow, actually. So in the middle of this process, we will be starting to pick up them as a client, assuming that goes well. A couple things that I've already learned is that if you just ask questions about their business, it's a lot more likely for it to go well. If you try to sell them something right off the bat, obviously it's not gonna work. Or even if you talk about your service too early, they're gonna lose interest and they're gonna understand that you're just trying to sell them. So it's really important when you're DMing these people that you ask about them, and you don't really talk about yourself until they ask you why you're so interested in it, and then you can tell them. So I'm gonna keep this process up. I'll probably see you guys in about a week, and I'll let you guys know the final details for basically every aspect of these DMs and how it really went. And so about 2 weeks later, I'm done with the entire process. And so I reached out, I did DM exactly 200 people, and I have the response rates pulled up right here for you guys. So of the 200 people that I DM'd on Instagram, 25 of them actually responded, which is 12.5%. And 12.5% is actually a very high number compared to even cold calling. Cold calling, as far as how many people pick up the phone the first time you call them, it's much lower, in my experience, much lower than 12.5%. For me, it was around 8 or 7%. So this is good compared to cold calling. And that response rate of 12.5% is actually amazing compared to cold emailing, where, at least in my experience, the response rate for emails was around 4%. So triple the response rate in the Instagram DMs. And secondly, responses are only as good as you can convert them. And so of those 25, I did convert 4 responses into meetings. Now, this is a number that is partly my fault. I think realistically, if I could go back and do it again, I could probably convert 6 or 7, but this was my first time doing it through Instagram DMs, so the sales approaches were a little bit different, and I definitely improved as the more DMs I sent. My meeting rate increased drastically. So I think if I did this again, my meetings would probably be more like 7 out of 25. The meeting rate for cold calls is actually typically higher than this, just because once you get someone on the phone, it's not difficult to sell them as long as you have a good personality and you're trustworthy. But this meeting rate is way higher than cold emails, where it was less than 1% for me as far as how many cold emails turned into a meeting for me. So this process and his TikTok is actually absolutely right. Of those 4 clients, one of them is looking like a very strong lead, which I'll potentially turn into a client as soon as next week. The other 2 are a little bit longer term projects, and I'll continue to check up on them as far as we go, but they also liked my work. And so again, in the future, those could be 2 more clients. So of the percentage of meetings that I took, I could probably convert 3 out of 4 or 75% of those meetings into clients. So this TikTok is absolutely right. And I think Mason's TikTok in general, after going through a little bit more of them, were really good videos. I've worked as a copywriter now for 3 months, 4 months, as far as doing it consistently. And he makes great videos as far as how to get started and the process of it all. So if you're interested at all in what I do, go check his TikTok out or his YouTube out. But I am going to be starting a TikTok and an Instagram where I post reels of myself. Those will be linked down in the description. But yeah, this was a great experiment. I mean, basically landed a client out of it and maybe 2 more on the way. It's definitely worth it. If you want to try it, try Instagram DMs as your own method of outreach. I would definitely say go for it. Yeah, this is a good feeling because the last time I did one of these videos where I tested out a TikTok, it did not go well. So good change of pace here in this video. So that's going to be all from me today. If you liked the video, leave a like. Obviously, if you didn't like it, comment down below why you didn't like it, or feel free to reach out to my Instagram, which will be linked down in the description, as well as my new Reels account and my TikTok account, which I'll be starting up soon in the future. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all